Hello everybody, welcome to the Real World Prepper. My 2 cents on Walmart's decision coming up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me again. As the title says, my 2 cents about Walmart and why I won't be spending my 2 cents at Walmart. We just about quit spending any of our money, my family, at Walmart anyway, for a myriad of other reasons. And I'm going to get into this in just a minute as to this whole topic that is hot right now, that everybody's talking about, and kind of what I think it means, and some other aspects to look at regarding Walmart and its founder, Sam Walton. Let me first say that a lot of you guys have sent me emails, other messages, comments, etc. Lots of things, sent me links, videos, asked questions, all kinds of things. You guys know who you are. If you haven't been answered, I apologize. I'm getting a lot of this stuff, and I'm trying to get to it as much as I can. I want you to know that I read and look at everything that you guys send me. Sometimes it's a day or two later before I get a chance to, and I intend to, I've got on my to-do list to make sort of a list of some different topics that have been posed, and questions and things, and address those maybe in one video as I get to it. So I haven't forgotten you guys. I'm not ignoring you guys. Thank you for the correspondence. Keep it coming. I appreciate it. It a lot of times allows me to think about different things that I haven't thought about, or consider different aspects of things that I have thought about. At any rate, keep those coming. By the way, you can send the correspondence via my email address, which is in the About section on my channel. It's theworldcanspeak@aol.com. Also, I've got a USPS address. It's P.O. Box 843, Collierville, Tennessee, 38027. Of course, like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm over on Patreon. If you want to go over, and you can see in my banner on the channel, join me at Patreon. It's $1 a month if you want to support me, is the minimum. If you want to support with more, I appreciate it. For those of you who have done that and are there, thank you so very much. It really means a lot, and it helps me to keep doing this stuff, and I appreciate it. So anyway, so Walmart, as you guys know, they no longer are going to sell ammunitions and guns. I think with the exception of shotguns, and maybe long rifles that are, I guess, what they deem specifically for hunting. I'm not exactly sure. The CEO went on to say that the status quo is unacceptable. My buddy Zombie Farmer did a great video on this, I believe yesterday or day before. He said something that rung true with me, and I believe it wholeheartedly, that when they say that about the status quo, they're talking about you and me, okay? We are unacceptable. Our legal rights are unacceptable. Our inalienable rights, our God-given rights are unacceptable. Our right to defend ourselves, or at least to go get the supplies. You know, they offer everything else in the world practically that you can get at Walmart and at Sam's, which is also their deal. You know, but now they're not going to offer this very important tool set to defend yourself, okay? So with Walmart following that trend, you know, we've seen Dick's Sporting Goods, and I know there's others, you know, that have made these stands, and of course Walmart goes on to say they don't want you carrying in the stores anymore. They don't want you open carrying anyway, and I'm not a huge fan of open carry anyway, out in public, that is. You know, that's just my opinion. I'm not faulting any of you guys if you do. I just personally don't care for it. But nonetheless, they don't want you doing it. It is your legal right to do so in many states. It is in mine. And so if I wanted to, I should be able to. And for that matter, the law says that I can. Of course, Walmart can ask me to leave. Also, Kroger grocery stores, for those of you who know about Kroger, I know it's not in every area, but they have followed suit with saying they don't want people carrying as well, openly. So thanks for alienating a very large population, a very large percentage of people who shopped at your stores. Kudos to you guys for alienating them. I hope that it affects your bottom line tremendously for these ridiculous decisions. So you know, since pesky gun laws seem to be problematic and difficult, and since gun bans and confiscations seem to be a long shot for those in the Fed government, they are working with businesses such as Walmart to essentially shame gun owners into submission and to form opinions in the minds of the public that are not gun owners, and certainly in the youth that are coming up and these young people that are going to be running this country one day, if there's anything left to run. If you guys didn't know it, the Fed government is in bed with these large corporations. You know, Walmart itself is subsidized heavily to the tune of billions every year, okay? This is, and as are many of these, you know, and if you really get to looking at it, a lot of these large corporations, you know, there's so many different stores and businesses and of course communications companies and things. They're all owned essentially by a few people. You know, when you follow the money and follow the trail, there's a control system and a money system that's all there in just the hands of a few. And so this is, you know, a concerted effort, one by one, chipping away at this stuff. So this is a more, in my opinion, subversive tactic, and that is to get these stores, these companies, these organizations to you know, to dispel with wanting guns around, to carry on the narrative of guns bad, you know, people who own guns bad, you know, et cetera, et cetera. The tactic is going to prove a little easier, I think, than going after guns by law or in law, with laws and that kind of thing. What it'll do is it'll begin to erode in the minds of, again, people who are not gun owners and who do not appreciate our Second Amendment and who buy into this whole, you know, mess, this whole garbage that spiel that they give you, that guns bad, right? Especially big black guns bad. You know, of course, we all know the big black guns that are bad, you know, account for a fraction of the gun deaths. And another thing, I don't like the term gun violence. You know, I hear even people on other channels here on this platform saying gun violence. You know, gun violence kills this many people and gun violence is responsible for that, even if they're sort of in support of guns and Second Amendment. You know, we don't say automobile violence. We don't say bat violence, you know, baseball bat violence. We don't say knife violence, you know, fist violence, you know, choking violence. It's just violence, okay? If there's going to be violence, it's just violence. It's a gun is a tool, okay? So I don't like that term. But anyway, if enough retailers, you know, decide to quit selling guns and ammo, the availability you know, diminishes. Not to mention, this will drive prices up. If you didn't know it, Walmart, I think, accounted for about 20% of ammunition sales in the United States. So, you know, that's a fifth, you know, and so what it's going to do, the more these companies and stuff that start banning this stuff and shaming those who you know, painting this picture, shaming those who own guns and appreciate the Second Amendment, it's gonna rise the prices up. It's going to make the availability go down. So now we gun owners, you know, we're shameful, hateful pariah who are obviously in love with our scary black rifles. You know, we sleep with them, we hug them, we go to bed, we kiss them. That's what they all want to present. That's what they want the rest of the country to believe, is that's how we are, these crazy folks, you know, with scary black rifles that, you know, by God, this is our rifle, we're going to do what we want with them. Well, you know, this is true. This is our rifle. We're going to own these, right? And whatever the guns are. But we are smart, educated taxpayers, patriots, you know, doing the right thing in life for the most part. You know, so it's just a picture being painted to continue with this narrative. So, at any rate, so it's gonna jack everything up. An over premium for your firearms, for your ammunition, for as long as you can get them. Look, another interesting Walmart point that I just want to bring up. This really doesn't have to do with the guns as much, but Sam Walton, if you guys didn't know this, he was an intelligence officer in World War II, right? He was one of the architects of the Japanese internment camps, okay? The Japanese American internment camps here in the United States. If you don't know about that, look it up, okay? So Sam Walton wasn't just necessarily this country bumpkin, right, who just always started a little 5 and dime and next thing Walmart, parts of that is true, but this guy, has a big history in the United States government, intelligence officer, and again, one of the architects of the internment camps for Japanese Americans during World War II. So, and again, not to mention that like I said before, Walmart is subsidized to the tune of billions of dollars. What about all the Walmart store closings you've heard about over the last few years, where they black out the windows, they clear everything out? These are healthy stores, by the way. They claim they were losing a bunch of money, yet they're being subsidized by billions of dollars by the federal government, right? And then they turn around and tout, and I think last year or the year before, the same year where they had one of the biggest number of closings, and I don't have that number in front of me, but the biggest number of store closings, because they were having money problems, and then they turn around and allegedly hire 60,000 former veterans. All right, is that a Walmart army? Are these Sam Walton plans, that are being carried out with the Fed government to to possibly have a place to house folks in all these empty stores that were healthy stores that are still standing? There's also a bunch of container trucks at many of these stores that have been brought in unmarked. Nobody knows what's there, what's in them. Nobody knows what's going on. Anyway, private security, all this kind of stuff. For what? For what? Who knows? Good question if you ask me. So now also, along with all of these things, all these topics that I'm mentioning, the threat of red flag gun laws, okay? Check this out too. There's an article, if I can, I'll share the link, but you can probably look this up and find it. I may or may not have the link, but in California, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors has passed a resolution declaring the National Rifle Association a, quote, domestic terrorist organization, and they urged the federal government to do the same. That is, to declare the NRA a domestic terrorist organization. They have done so, okay, in a resolution presented to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, okay, or rather written by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. The resolution says that the U.S. is, quote, plagued by an epidemic of gun violence, end quote, and it accuses the NRA of using, quote, its considerable wealth and organization strength to promote gun ownership and incite gun owners to acts of violence, end quote. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? First of all, I'm not a big fan of the NRA, okay? I think they have mismanaged a lot of dollars and missed a lot of opportunities to actually do some good for gun owners. Not going to get into all that here. There's also the GOA. I don't know how I feel about them either. I used to be a member of the NRA. I'm not anymore, but the fact is, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. San Francisco, Board of Supervisors, has passed a resolution making this claim, and then they say this, that they're using their considerable wealth and organizational strength to promote gun ownership and incite gun owners to acts of violence. No organization like that is inciting. No one is inciting anybody, gun owners, to acts of violence. Okay, when I say no one, no big organization like that is. How foolish is the whole notion? Anyway, so you can plainly see where this is headed. You can plainly see where this agenda about guns is headed. Okay. There's no doubt about it. They are just, and this has been going on for years. This is being built for years. This is a plan that has been implemented years ago, and one step at a time, one chip. We're carving something out, right? And with every chip and carve and sliver coming off of the raw rock or wood or whatever analogy you want to use, once it comes into shape, it's going to be too late. And these are all the chips away at it, okay? So we see where this is headed. It should be crystal clear. The enemy is growing in numbers, and it's showing its face more openly. The brainwashing continues, and as the water runs off, it continues to erode what's left of our rights. So what I would encourage you to do is a couple of things. One, keep buying guns and ammunition. Go to these online retailers, your sportsman retailers and stuff. I'm not going to call anybody out by name. There's plenty of them out there. Buy some stuff. Buy some ammunition. Buy some guns. Okay? Look at your local resale organizations that are coming up on different social media platforms. You can also find interesting, guns and ammunition that way if you know where you're looking, because it's largely disallowed. But if you do it the right way, there's plenty out there to be had. Do not shop at these communist places anymore if you can help doing it, okay? I realize in some areas they've run out all the little shops to where you have no choice, unless you have to drive far away. Do what you can to hurt them in their pocketbooks. These Walmarts, these Krogers, these Dick's Sporting Goods, these other places like that. It may or may not make a difference, okay? But just do what you can, because you'll know you're doing the right thing, and keep buying. For sure, keep buying. There's great deals on some of these internet sites. I use one regularly. It's where I've been getting most of my stuff for the last few years anyway. But that's all I've got. It's my 2 cents on Walmart, and why I will not be spending my 2 cents or otherwise at these places anymore. I suppose that's it. Thanks for joining me on today's edition of The Real World Prepper. Like and share, this video, and subscribe if you have not already. And that's it. That's it. Thanks so much, guys. God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.